I'm not a scientist. I'm not an expert in footballs. I'm not an expert in football measurements. I don't want anyone rubbing them, putting any air in them, taking any air out. To me, those balls are perfect, and that's what I expect when I throw. I can't throw it on the football. It's so goddamn hard about holding on to it.
Two games left to go 2-0, 1-1, or 0-2
Collins and Scott Simpson
in week 2.
The Fantasy Millionaires.
Week 3 prep starts now. Saquon got injured. David Montgomery got injured. Anthony Richardson and Jalen Waddle concussed. Joe Burrow re-aggravates his calf. We had a nice, brutal Philly fan fight.
No.
Jerry Ferreira, a.k.a. Turtle from Entourage, might be coming to the Expo next year.
What?
And the Commanders game made me LOL. Stacks, let's get into it.
Oh, my goodness. Tell me about your LOL first, because I'm interested in that, because a lot happened.
Yeah, just we're from the area. New ownership group, the Josh Harris group with Magic Johnson's taking over the Commanders, and I have kind of wondered if I am gonna slowly become a Commanders fan again. I don't care. I have no feeling at all. I if I have any feeling for any team, it's that team. So, I'm not saying it's zero, but it's my fandom is in a coma, and I was rooting for them to convert that 2-point conversion so it could go to overtime. And
that's because you want more money and more fantasy points, though. So don't totally shit on that, because that's what we live for. We want more. I mean, we want overtime in every game we got players in.
It's true. But I'm going to be honest with you. Honestly, I
lose.
I just thought it would
choke. That would be
I just thought it would
be Hail Mary.
I thought it would be like, I felt like Scott Stack Simpson just wanting to trigger the fan base, like just to hear. But then it also made me LOL that the Broncos lost and Sean Payton's 0-2 and Russell Wilson has this amazing Hail Mary at the end, and then he can't pull off the 2. So it was funny. It was all funny. It was all good.
It was amusing, as the kids say. Yeah.
Yes.
No, I did like that. I mean, the rash of injuries. My first round pick is Saquon Barkley in the main league we do, the home league, the champ league, where I was the champ. And man, that's just a kick in the nuts. I mean, what can you do? The guy is a baller, but I mean, his ankle, he was twisted like at 100-degree angle. I don't even understand what happened there and how he still has feet. So
yeah, it's good news. I think it's maybe only 1 week. I bet you they're playing Thursday night. I don't think
he's not playing this week. He's out.
He's not going to play Thursday, but I think that's all it's going to take is 1 week. It's just an ankle thing.
I mean, my guess is it'll be 3 weeks before he actually gets you back in the saddle again. Because I mean, last night or yesterday, wherever you were in the time zone, that little touchdown scamper and the dive to the pylon. Oh my goodness! I mean, it's exactly what I was hoping. I have Saquon, so I said, hey, why don't you just do a flare out route to Saquon and drop it in the bucket and then let him do? He did that shit. That's what I wanted. I thought about it and it happened. So I need more of that. I'm not gonna win. I'm already 1-1. I'm gonna be 0-1 in, I guess 0-2 if I lose the next 2 games without him. So I'm struggling. I gotta figure out somebody to pick up. Hopefully you got somebody for me on the wire later.
Yeah, we'll get into that. Yeah, dude. I was watching on the X machine, and it was the Jerry Ferreira podcast, and Dave Kluge was on, and it was called Fantasy Intervention or something like that, because Turtle wants to quit playing fantasy, so he like put out the feelers in our little community, and he, a bunch of people were like, dude, talk with Dave Kluge. So he went on his podcast, and he basically convinced him to come to Canton next year, which I think is so cool.
Dude, that's awesome. Love the Kluges.
Yeah. So that would I thought that was a pretty cool development in our fantasy world. So next year we might have Dez Bryant and Turtle from Entourage up in there.
I want to have what was Johnny Drama? I need Johnny Drama. You know, that's that. Then you know you've made it. You know.
Yeah. Dude, did you get my text? We can watch this Philly fan fight real quick. It's on the Twitter. It's on the X.
So where did you send it to me from?
In the DMs, where I send out everything.
DMs. Ah, okay.
I know you like a good fan fight. I don't even know what happens in this thing. It's a wild little 18-second clip, but we're big fans of fan fights.
It's interesting. I've got a fan fight too. I got one for you after this. It's a Dallas Cowboys New York Jets fan fight. So look at us. We're fan fighting today with we're pre-Xing. We're like, you know, we're like pre-cum, you know, it's like a little snip. Oh, I gotta show you something on the X. So all right, here is your video. Let's get the sound up on this bitch and let's see. Looks like a bunch
of quick and it doesn't make sense. Just press play.
We got a Justin Jefferson looking jersey here. We've got Philly. A lot of Philly guys. Cunningham, old school Philly. We got a Carson Wentz, but he's taking the name off the back because he doesn't want to be associated. We got a Hurts. We've got a Dawkins over here. Okay, let's see this. Let's see how it goes down. I'm interested in all the players here. Ooh. Oh, we got Philly and Minnesota teaming up together.
He was wearing a big hat. They beat him up because he had a big hat on. That's what it said.
What did it say?
It's because he had a big hat on. I don't know.
Is that what happened? He did have a big hat. Let's watch that again. Hold on. Boom. We got big hat get knocked off his head. Look at this. Oof. Slow motion. There's his big hat. Boom. There it goes.
Yeah, the Philly fans are beating up their own fan. Why are they beating up their own guy?
I don't know. I saw a Texans fight. They were just beating up their own people too. This is the Cowboys stadium. We got like a figure 4 leg lock on the ground. Let's watch this one.
Well, what is this? Oh.
It's going crazy.
These are little skinny teenagers.
So I mean, dude, these are wild boys. Look at this. This looks like a fight to the death. You know, they've got a guy in a leg lock, another guy figure 4 punching him. I mean, this is crazy. Where are the police, by the way? I watched the fight at the Bengals stadium. You see that guy headbutt somebody? He was being arrested and he jumped up and he headbutted somebody. That was even crazier. I'll show you that one. Yeah. I mean, this is just turning into like, you know, but this is turning into like a TMZ. But the Bengals headbutt, this thing was crazy. Look at this. This is crazy. This is the wildest one by far.
Oh! Why did it look like blood came out when he did that? Did you see
sunglasses? His sunglasses popped off.
Okay. Yeah, that's what it was. Oh!
Gives him the headbutt stunner, man.
Oh, that was juicy.
That was just. I mean, if you want to see it in slow-mo, watch.
Well, that's the fan fight of the week, dude. Just a straight headbutt.
Yeah, he gets up to him. He's in handcuffs, by the way, and he's pulling away from the police officer. He's like walking this way, takes a quick left, and then you just see he just goes boom,
bam,
and then the sunglasses pop. Sunglasses are what's popping. You see that pop? Oh nice man, shot, and then he is down, dude. Homeboy got concussed. So I mean, look at that. And then they're choking him.
Yeah.
Oh. My God.
Yeah.
He's like,
concussions are part of the thing, dude. Jalen Waddle, Anthony Richardson. I was bummed. I was watching that game last night. I didn't even see when it happened when Jalen Waddle got injured.
What about Devontae Adams? You're missing Devontae Adams concussion. It's fucking Devontae Adams.
Didn't even know that.
Yeah. Dude,
Devontae Adams got concussed.
Ding. Yeah, he got concussed. End of the game.
Oh my gosh.
Out. Yeah, man. Yeah, it was a shell-shocked weekend for lots of players for concussions and injuries. So
David Montgomery thigh injury, and I'll tell you the one I'm most pissed about is the Joe Burrow
Oh man,
aggravates his
I
calf.
see that one coming a mile away too. I mean, he even said afterwards, like, me, I'm the problem. I'm the guy who's hurt. You know, I didn't have training camp and I'm hurt. You're like, why are you playing?
Jamar Chase said he should sit out for a little bit. He should have listened to him, dude. He should
Yeah,
have
he
sit
did.
out the first month. Because honestly, now, I mean, I don't know. You know, I mean, like, I mean, we can get into it. I was debating on putting him on the trades to get paid for sell low.
Solo.
Um,
Yeah, I mean, he's not a terrible solo. I mean, you're probably not going to get enough for him though. I mean, that's the problem. He's got a flashy name, but
though, I mean, the only thing is that yeah, he's not my sello. So I have my all right trades get paid. These are my
let's do it.
buy low, David Montgomery, buy high, Kirk Cousins.
Okay, let's do one at a time because last time you went through them so fast I couldn't even process them. So
Okay.
You started with your first one. Who's your first one?
Buy low, David Montgomery.
David Montgomery. Let's talk about David Montgomery. Buy low. You have him. Are you trying to get people to buy him from you?
I would buy him right now.
You would buy him right now.
I would buy him right now. I think he's one of the steals of the draft, and I think that Jamar Gibbs,
Jameer, I think it's called, but
Jameer, yeah, sorry, Jameer Gibbs is obviously, well, I don't think he's overrated. It's just he's on. It's
draft
just
capital wise, he is.
Yes, draft capital wise, he is. I mean, he really is. And David Montgomery, I think, is one of the picks of the draft that when he like this is a thigh bruise
game. So
yeah, it's a thigh bruise. He's gonna it's probably sort of a similar injury as Saquon, like a couple weeks.
Got it out. Yeah, I like that. You're swaying me. Why don't you sell him to me in the BFF?
Do I have him in BFFs? I don't think I have him in BFFs. I have him in leagues, but I want more of them. I want more of them because he is the dude on that team. I mean, Jameer Gibbs is the I mean, what did they say at the beginning of the season? They're trying to invent a new position for him. That's
just not working.
Yeah, it's just not. That's not what you want to hear, man. That is not. It's not what you want to hear. And I think right now, all the Jameer Gibbs owners are going to get really excited. And he went out during that game, and it wasn't. I didn't see any difference. David Montgomery's. They just brought in the backup. And he's still the power back.
And Denny was talking about how the backup was getting the red zone touches, which he said was probably tilting the Gibbs truthers. So
right.
Yeah. Now I'm with you. My buy low is Jalen Waddle, and maybe you can't prime out of the third round hands of somebody who drafted him there, or the second round, maybe if they were kind of reaching for him. But he's got the concussion. He has not performed how you kind of have invested. You're getting a wide receiver 3-ish, 4-ish. You wanted a 2-ish, 1-ish. So just poke around. I mean, I'm not projecting that he's going to fly off the handle and get you 30 points next week or whenever he comes back. But there might be some frustration there, and you might be able to kind of seize the day if they're 0-2, the Jalen Waddle owner, even more so. Just make him an offer, right? They're 0-2. If you're 2-0, get him, because he's on an offense, and we'll talk about it later when I talk about Tua in the DFS stacks of cash. But I mean, geez Louise, man, this offense. Mike McDaniel is this offense is running, and he's literally running off the field away from reporters. It was like one of my favorite things. He ran away, he chased the cameraman. It was so funny.
He's so weird, and he's just so interesting. Yeah,
he's an iconoclast. Like, he just kind of breaks the mold on what a coach is, and I think that they are moving in the right directions. He did the Belichick special last week. He scored before half, and then he got the ball back. I mean, he is beating Belichick at his own game, and he's using that too high safety look, or even though they had 3 safeties in the game, or 3 kind of like not a quarters but like a thirds coverage to kind of take away those high seams and take away the middle of the field. Well, they just ran the ball to Mostert. He just adjusted his game plan, which is what a good coach would do. And so he's not forcing it to Tyreek down the field, throwing him 50-yard passes. He's just throwing dink and dunk little passes here and there, and Tua was getting the ball out before he get any pass rush on him. So I like Waddle. Don't give up on him.
Yeah, I'm with you. I mean, honestly, I think the Dolphins, barring any injury to Tua, they're part of the class of the AFC. Man, I think it's the Bills, Chiefs, and Dolphins for me, and then
Yeah.
Ravens are around there too. So
Yeah. All right, you talked about Kirk Cousins. Who's Kirk Cousins to you? What does he do? What's your
um, Kirk Cousins is the number one fantasy quarterback in football right now. I mean, yeah,
what?
he
I'll
is.
believe it when I see it. Don't you? That's
He is
crazy.
second in passing yards. He is number one in TDs.
Holy shit, it's true.
He's your guy.
That's my guy. I got him on several teams, by the way. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, good late round pick. And honestly, I think now is the time to do it because
To sell, to drop the
to buy.
okay, you're back. Yeah, I would buy.
Buy
I would
high
buy.
for me.
I would buy high. Here's the thing:
high.
Alexander Madison is not as good as advertised, and so they're going to throw the football more. And their defense sucks still.
Their defense sucks, and here's why I think Kirk. I just think Kirk is set up for a really good season. I don't think he's going to finish as the number one quarterback, but I'm just saying, if you have Joe Burrow or guy in our league was flipping out, he lost Aaron Rodgers. I think Kirk Cousins is a guy you target and give up decent value because for me, it's Jordan Addison that is really taking it to the next level. Yeah, I mean, you have three really viable wide receivers. I mean, the best wide receiver in football. And then Jordan Addison is just week 2, touchdown 2. And then you have TJ Hawkinson. It's just a really, really juicy core of people that he's going to be able to just get the ball to again and again and again. And like you said, Madison is, I mean,
who
kind of who we thought he was. Yeah.
Well, Bo said he had no talent. We watched him do a nice little touchdown the first week, but then this last week, man, he just fell flat. So
I don't think he's. I don't think he's. As bad
as that guy. He's not that guy. He's just
right.
He's backup.
He's just not Dalvin
elevated.
Cook.
Yeah,
I mean he's been behind Dalvin Cook for a reason.
Yeah, right. They tried to sneak by with the backup running back, and it's going to bite him in the butt. Speaking of a backup running back who's not biting him in the butt, but who's coming out of nowhere, we talked about him last week on the podcast. We did say to pick up Kyron Williams, so I'm glad he was one of our top pickups. For running back, we didn't overlook him. I picked him up, actually. I followed my own advice in a couple leagues. I grabbed him. And good thing I did. I had actually Cam Akers in a couple of those leagues that I had drafted Cam Akers in. And Cam Akers is not playing on the team anymore. He is just trade bait. And this happened last year, too. Like, I'm not sure if there's issues professionally or if there's issues relationally with the team or if there's issues between him and the coach or him and the running backs coach. Or I don't understand what happens. But, like every couple months, on the team, he's like the man. And then every couple months, they're like, he sucks. We're not going to use him ever again. And so it's really yin and yang with him. And now it's all yang, like yang, get him out. And Kyron Williams is the man. And so let's look at his numbers real quick because, I like numbers. I think numbers are good to look at. And this is so far, he has 14 and 15 attempts. I like that's respectable. But then here's what I love. Last week he had 10 freaking targets, right? I mean, so you're not going to play San Francisco every single week, but man, in a trailing scenario, you see he's going to be the target monster. And so he's got 12 targets already in 2 games, 6 targets per game over, 17 game season. I mean, you're looking at 100 targets. So this guy is primed to go off, and he's averaging, a robust. I can do the math real quick, right? 22 points per game, 22.5 points per game so far. Like, this is somebody who I would go out and get immediately for the rest of the year. I would just, what is going to happen. He's going to be their ride or die. So ride.
Right.
That's my thought.
Yeah. He's number 2 in the BFFs right now. That's the number 2.
I have not looked overall here on we'll pull it up for By the way, this is fancy data. I love them. They're my favorite. Yeah, he's number 2 as well. He's number 3 points behind Christian McCaffrey, just like we predicted. And Brian Robinson's number 3. So Brian Robinson might be my sell high, though, if you want to transition to sell high. I mean, Brian Robinson beasted out last week, 2 touchdowns, running all over Denver. Maybe you don't want to trade him. Maybe you want to keep him and just ride him the rest of the year. I don't think he's going to do that every week, though. I think that he will not split carries, but I think he'll have more carries every week than Gibson. But the offense will kind of go up and down, and I think they might have to pass the ball more at times. But what do you think about Brian Robinson? Are you buying? Are you selling? Are you? If I'm buying,
I mean, it's always funner to do the buys versus the sells. Like my sell high is also. I mean, you just don't know. I mean, right now,
is
Brian
this yours too? Is it?
No, but it's just kind of similar. Like it's kind of
so high.
I'm selling high on Garrett Wilson.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. I agree with you on that.
It's the same idea, right? Like both of those guys, you're
maxed out yesterday.
Well, you're nervous to sell, right? Because so I mean, honestly, it's more just looking at the course of a season. And I think both of those guys, I think have had really good week 1s and 2s. And I mean, Garrett Wilson, it's obvious it's Zach Wilson that's the problem. So but meanwhile, Zach Wilson did kind of look a little good. I think he looked the best he's ever looked versus the Cowboys yesterday. So it's kind of a scary one, and obviously with both of those guys, sell high, make sure you get good product for it. So
I agree. So what do you think though? Would you buy Brian Robinson right now, or would you sell him? I think I missed the end of that because I want to see, like, am I off?
I'm kind of.
You can tell me I'm off because I mean I'm a homer, but I'm not. Like, I'm an anti-homer to a degree, and you want to believe in this story. I mean, guy gets shot, gets like robbed down in DC, comes back, is not healthy. Now he is healthy. He does look good, but I just don't know if he's going to get you 30 points each week, or 27 points, whatever it is.
I mean, that's the thing too, is Antonio Gibson is on that offense and he's just not really done his thing yet. And
no, not at all. He hasn't stolen any carries or taken one to the house and made it so Brian Robinson didn't need
it. And he almost did yesterday take one to the house. And you saw that little moment where you're like, okay, there's somebody who's really special as well. I've always been, I think Antonio Gibson is better than Brian Robinson, but
you and Bo are on that camp.
I'm in that camp, but I'm not on Bo's side of the tracks where he thinks Brian Robinson's like hot dumpster fire trash. I think Brian Robinson. What's that?
He might be adjusting his ranks. Possibly. I don't know. I mean, maybe.
Yeah, I mean, he's always just been so down on him, just from his time in Alabama, just the way the way he moves. I haven't gotten deep into his mind, but he just doesn't think there's really anything special about him. But I don't know. Meanwhile, he continues to play well. So I didn't draft barely any. So I'm just kind of neutral. I don't think I have any shares of Brian Robinson because that backfield to me is a headache with Antonio Gibson. So I get the idea.
Yeah, I mean, just strike while the iron's hot, and the iron is particularly it's hot, right?
Yep.
It's hot. If I had a sounder for that, it'd be really hot. Who's your sell low? Because I want to hear yours.
He's going to be my sell low the rest of the season, and I'm so glad that I don't personally have to sell low. It's Kyle Pitts. It's Bo's guy.
Oh, I've got no Kyle Pitts. That's great. I've got none either.
Back on the sell low. He was on Cash's sell low a bunch in 2022, and he's right back on sell low.
On the sell low. Yeah. How many targets does Kyle Pitts have this year? Let's look and see. This is going to be a fun game. Let's play the game. Do you know how many he has? I don't. I'm going to guess 4.
6. Yeah.
You're going 6. I'm going 4. This is fun. Oh, I love this. Okay. I'm so excited here. Okay. Sorry. He's got 8. So we're both wrong, but he does have 4 receptions, for a whopping 9.9 fantasy points. So, yay. You're
Yeah, man.
averaging you and Jonnu. He's only 0.6 above Jonnu Smith, out targeting him by 2, but not out receiving him. And Jonnu's only got 12 less yards. So, I mean, dude, that's not great. That's terrible.
Yeah, man. I'm selling low. Fine. And you know what? You're not going to find any buyers, so you just get in a league with Bo.
Eat it. Okay, go sell him to Bo.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I've got a guy who you could sell low, and that's Isaiah Pacheco, rhymes with sell low, So I thought that could be, you could sell him too. Somebody said it on Twitter, and I'm stealing it. It's not mine. I'm not claiming it, but they said something like, he has the most amount of body movement for like a 3-yard run into the hole. Like he is just everywhere, but straight down the field. You know what I mean? Like he is just always wiggling around and shit, which is great, I guess. But he's not going. He's just not great. He's averaging 8 fantasy points. So if you drafted him as your RB2, you're not doing well. So I would sell. Sell.
I'll buy.
Yeah, you're buying.
I'll buy. Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
again, I just look at that offense and I based on what I've seen, and maybe this is just his destiny, but he is so close to breaking it like every game for a 50-yard run.
He needs to learn from straight.
But like
that's
even
part of it.
last
This
week,
run is just-
he busted for like 40. That's the problem with him, is that they get down there and then he doesn't get any of the the usage. He'll get them down the field. But I'm still willing to roll the dice. I would buy your sell low if the price is right. But yeah, again, I get it, because maybe this is just his destiny. He's just going to be someone that gets multiple 40-yard runs, gets down to the 3, and then has to go catch his breath when they score the touchdown.
Right. Hey, get McKinnon in there quick.
Right.
So yeah, no. All right. Well, that's excellent. Nice to play that game. Are we going to the wire?
The wire it is, man.
Okay. Let's stay right here with QBs. Who's your or just want to start with like who the top players to pick up?
I had 4 that I think are all viable, worthy of consider. I mean, and then we can say which one we'd want. But Mac Jones again.
We talked about him last week.
Jordan Love still not rostered.
He's got 6 touchdowns.
I mean, Jordan Love is a must add.
Yes.
CJ Stroud and Baker Mayfield.
We talked about Baker a little bit last week too, and I'm all about CJ Stroud. I'm gonna talk about him later in Elevate, Mitigate, Eviscerate, because he's got 91 attempts so far this year, and that's 3rd in the NFL. And his team sucks. He's gonna have to throw the football every freaking game. That's all they're gonna do, and they can't really run the football that well either, because their line kind of sucks. So they're gonna have to be throwing it fast, and they're gonna have to be throwing it to their wide receivers. And I mean, dude, Nico Collins and Tank Dell are just I've got a little bit of both. So I will talk about those guys later too. But I'm with you, man. I think CJ Stroud might be the one I want, not because he's better, but just because they're going to have to throw the football so much eventually, I don't know who's out of all those guys. Are you a Mac Joneser?
I think Jordan Love is the must add. So
I think Jordan Love. Yeah, I agree. I just think he might be picked up from last week. Maybe not though. Maybe not.
In ESPN, he's still under 40 rostered.
Oh,
so
okay, yeah. Well, then pick him up. Yeah, snag-a-dag-a-laggle him.
Yeah, and then I would say second would be for me CJ Stroud.
Yeah.
So
okay, all right, I can accept that. I'm not against that. All right, let's pop to running back. Who are you thinking for RBs here?
I got Zach Moss, Gus Edwards, Damian Harris, and Latavius Murray. Both of those guys.
They're gonna make us put up Latavius Murray on here. That's just ridiculous.
Yeah. And then Giants RBs. If you need a plug and play,
Matt Breida, Tywan Jones,
Eric Gray. What's his? I had it pulled up. Where did I put my Giants? New York Giants. Yeah. Eric Gray could be an interesting one. I think he's 4th on the depth chart, but he might be. I don't want any of them, so
Right.
those aren't.
Yeah.
But I would say, yeah, Matt
Very
Breida
bright.
and
Well,
Eric Gray would be the ones I'd be
looks-
interested in.
Looks terrible. I think I'm out of that one. I think
Yeah,
I'm just gonna have to pick up somebody else. You know.
I
in
mean, Zach
general.
Moss is probably the ad, or Gus Edwards. I don't know. Who do you
Zach
want
Moss
more?
Is the ad. I think Zach Moss. I think he benefited honestly from the injury because he kind of Richardson is the key running back in that offense, right? Without JT. So, but when he was out, you're not going to get any runs from, maybe you are Minshew, but not gonna way that you're going to get from Richardson. So, yeah, I do like Zach Moss. I think he's good either way, but I think Richardson does come back. He steals some goal line stuff, but besides that, I think he'll get you 12 to 15 points a game, which is what you need from your RB3. And that's solid. So. I'm in for sure. I think he's the best.
Yeah, I'm with you. I think we're in agreement. Jordan Love for QB, Zach Moss for running back, and only because I think Gus Edwards is a beast. I mean,
I think
a
Gus
legit
Edwards
beast
is in there too. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, he's number 2 for me in the waiver wire ads, but the only problem with him is he's zero PPR guy. So for PPR leagues, Gus Edwards he's nada. Like they do But meanwhile, he is a 235-pound load that is, I think harder to bring down than J.K. Dobbins. Like I've always thought like that guy is just, he's a red zone problem when they get down there. So,
Yep. Yeah. Well, wide receiver, by the way, just pulling it up. I just want to remark, just like we called it, Puka Nacua, 25 receptions, leading the NFL. After 2 weeks,
35, right?
No,
is it
35 targets, 25 receptions,
25 receptions.
Oh yeah,
35 targets.
He's got the most targets by 10, but I'm saying the most receptions by 5.
Over Justin Jefferson. Dude. Just bananas, dude.
Bananas. bananas. So
yeah.
No, I wanted to say that just because it was pretty wild. But
right now in BFFs, it's same there. Fantasy data, it's Tyreek and then Puka.
Yeah, Puka.
And I don't think it's going to stop.
No, I don't think it's going to stop either. Speaking of not going to stop, are you going to stop and pick up Josh Reynolds for the Detroit Lions? Because he's got 2 touchdowns on the season, 146 yards, 13 targets, 9 receptions. He's 12th, but he's really super efficient. Let's just be honest. It's real nice, efficient numbers.
Yeah, I mean, the guys that I had listed for wide receiver, Tank Dell, Marvin Mims, Tutu Atwell, Jaden Reed, Robert Woods, and then Josh Reynolds.
I agree on Woods. Yeah.
Those are my guys.
Tank Dell, though. Tank Dell, you got to put. Yeah, Tank Dell to me is one of the top pickups because, if you look at him last week, I knew he was going to start. I played him in a bunch of leagues or DFS lineups. I'm sorry. He had 10 targets, 7 for 10. He had 72 and a tutty, and he should have had 2 touchdowns. He actually had another touchdown, but they called a penalty on the play, and it was a different series. It wasn't like he got a touchdown the next play. So he could have had 2 touchdowns. So, I mean, if you knew about Tank Dell, you knew about Tank Dell, and I did know about Tank Dell. I talked about Tank Dell.
They played together in college too, him and CJ Stroud.
Yeah, they had the connection. Like I've been trying to ring the bell, bing, ding, ding, ding. But it's just me, my little Tank. But I do have the Tank Dell. So if you don't have him, go get him.
He's only rostered 3.8% of ESPN leagues.
Oh my gosh, he's their slot guy. And listen, there's 91 targets, and he didn't even really play that much in the first game. He had 4 targets. He ran like under the other 2. The guy in front of him got hurt. So I mean, and he did a beast job. Like once he got in there, you're not getting that guy out of there. So yeah, I think Tank Dell to the moon. You can grab him for cheap. He's not expensive. You could probably get him for $4 or $5 off the wire, maybe $5 if you got to splurge a little bit. If you're in my league, you're gonna have to pay a little bit more because I might be dipping my fingers in the Tank Dell sweepstakes. So, that's my guy.
I mean, yeah, I mean, Marvin Mims was drafted and then
assuming Yeah, he might have been cut. I'm assuming he's on
Well,
teams though. I mean,
7% of leagues, dude. 7%
really?
of ESPN.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Marvin Mims is a beast. I don't think he
Well,
got cut in our league because I would have swooped. I love that guy.
all right, so these are the guys because I don't know
Yeah.
who I want the most out of these guys. Tank Dell, Marvin Mims,
Jaden Reed.
Jaden
too.
Reed,
Yeah.
Robert Woods.
Yeah. Robert Woods is on that team too. He's getting targets.
Tutu Atwell, and
Yeah.
Josh Reynolds. Who do you want most out of those guys?
Maybe Tutu Atwell.
You think?
Yeah, he's 13 of 17 for almost 200 yards. So I'll also say tutty, but no tutties, but almost 200. I mean, in that offense, it all depends on Cooper Kupp. Honestly, if Cooper Kupp's going to be out for the season, then Tutu Atwell all the way. But I think I might backtrack. I mean, Mims for sure. I'm just assuming Mims is taken, but Mims number one for me. If he's on the waiver wire, go for him as a receiver.
Mims is number one for you. And then, it's interesting. You got Tank Dell and Robert Woods on the same team, both
different roles though,
Right. But again,
you got a wide receiver and then you have the slot. So it's just different, but you both good, both getting targets. So,
right. Yeah. And then, Josh Reynolds, poking his head back up, becoming attractive. So you're going Tutu out of all those guys.
Yeah,
that's your guy, Tutu.
Yeah, I'd go Tutu and then maybe Robert Woods, Tank. Well, no, it would go Mims, Tutu, Robert Woods, Tank Dell. That's how I think I'd go.
You go Mims, Tutu, Tank Dell.
Mims, Woods, Tank Dell.
Woods, Tank Dell. You want Woods
either one of those guys, Woods or Tank. If you get Woods or Dell, I'm happy with either one. They both are getting targets. I mean, 20 targets for Nico, 19 for Woods, 14 for Dell. I mean, they're gonna suck all year. Noah Brown's on the IR. That's the guy who was hurt. And John Michie had one target, one reception. Good for him. I'm glad he's back. He's a cancer survivor, kicking ass. He'll factor in too. But I mean, I like Tank Dell a lot. He showed out.
Yeah, I think for me, it's hard to rank, but I think if I'm picking my number one out, it'd be Marvin Mims too. Yeah. I think he's number one just because he's so fast and I mean he's still just they're just starting to see what he's capable of, and the upside. I just think he has the highest ceiling out of all those guys. So
yeah, I agree. All right, let's transition to the tight end position. Who's your number one target here? We said Hunter Henry.
We said Hunter Henry. We said Zach Ertz last week, and they're still out there. And Hunter Henry is the number 2 tight end, and Zach Ertz is number 6.
Yeah.
So,
Kyle Granson too. Get Kyle Granson.
Yeah.
I mean,
Kylan. How do you say his name?
Kylan Granson. Yeah, I mean, he got maybe he's got a touchdown. I don't know. Yeah, he had 3 or 4 of a touchdown. So maybe don't get him. But I mean, that's the tight ends.
Yeah,
Dawson Knox had like
I think in terms of tight ends, there's really Hunter Henry and Zach Ertz, and then the rest is just
maybe Dawson Knox if you're super.
Yeah, maybe Dawson.
Maybe if you got Kincaid, maybe not Kylan Granson. So, all right. What about defenses? You got some D's to stream?
I got one D. The Jags play Houston and Atlanta the next 2 weeks. So, and they're out there. So
I've got no D's. Maybe New Orleans. Try to find them if they're available.
Oh, they're drafted. They're a top D.
I know. I'm just saying. That's all I can say. I got nothing. Okay. Well, good thing we don't have nothing on the next subject because Elevate, Mitigate, Eviscerate is one of my favorite topics. And do you want to lead off with your QB to Elevate? Why don't you,
So you know how we do our stacks of cash after this? I was thinking when we build it, let's go back and look at who we elevated to build the lineup, because that is kind of how I was looking at my Elevate. Like I think these are all fantasy DFS viable options. So my first one, I don't think he's probably on your roster. So I would say get him off the waiver wire. I like Baker Mayfield versus the Eagles this week.
Wow, that's a call right there.
Yeah. Yeah. Listen, Baker Mayfield is he's doing his thing right now as a QB, and you see the Eagles, right? And you think, yeah, this is the Eagles. Like they're the they're the Eagles. The Eagles have given up 652 passing yards so far. Like they are the worst. They're dinged up. Their defense is dinged up. So it's a risky play.
Yeah, they're the most points they've given up to QBs in 2 games out of both.
Right.
That's
Yeah.
great. Dude, you're on to something. Look at that. Looky.
Yeah, I think Baker
in.
Mayfield is, and they lost Avonte Maddox this past week, so they're even worse. Like, the only problem that I foresee is they do have they have all that great front line, and so that could be an issue. But I honestly, the way he's been playing and kind of moving around and doing his Baker stuff, I think all he has to do is buy himself a little bit of time, and they're gonna feast.
He's gonna move about the city.
Yeah.
No, I do like it. I think it's a good call.
And that game there, it's going to be a great game script for fantasy because the Eagles are just they're going to do their thing. They're going to score touchdowns. They're going to move down the field.
Yep.
And Baker's going to get opportunities.
Yeah. No, I'm with you on that. Let me tell you, my guy is CJ Stroud. I talked about him. I hinted at it earlier. He's up against the Jacksonville Jaguars. And I know you say you might want to pick up the Jacksonville Jaguars D, but they gave up, and they do give up about 21 points per game to quarterbacks. They've given up 528 passing yards, which I love. It's not your 680 that the Eagles have given up, but still, right? It's sexy, right? For Stroud,
Mm-hmm.
they're going to probably be losing. Jacksonville is going to put up a bunch of yards on them. Jacksonville is going to bounce back. And it's going to come out and probably score 35 points. So, they're going to have to score 25 points or whatever to try to keep up with them. So I just like the game script for CJ Stroud. So I'm going Stroud. If you need somebody and you're struggling and you're, in a league where you're not getting some of those other players, I would feel comfortable going him. And I would, tag him up with, Tank Dell and Marvin Mims. Those are my guys that we talked about earlier, but those are also people I would elevate. And if you're, Robert Woodsing it, you could stack that as like a little sneaky pay down stack in your own fantasy lineup. Almost think about it like a DFS perspective. And
I can't wait to build our lineup. I can't wait to build our lineup.
Yeah.
Because this is how we got to do it now. We got to take our elevate guys and build the lineup with some of them. You know what I mean?
I agree. So who's your elevate for RB?
RB, it's your boy. He's been coming up all show. Kyron Williams. Guess who's the worst versus the run? The Bengals. Kyron Williams.
Oh,
yeah. He's gonna eat. He gonna eat. So that's a juicy matchup, and I'm interested to see what his price tag is this week for the number 2 running back in fantasy right now. Versus a juicy matchup that could have a dinged up Joe Burrow-less Bengals team that's just not doing anything versus the run.
Here's a question: is it a game that's on prime time, or is it a?
I don't know, but all I know is the Bengals have given up 384 yards so far on the ground.
Yeah, I think it might be a primetime game, so it's not going to be able to be built. That's disappointing. But yeah, that's okay. We're not done. We'll circle back. We're not defeated, but I do think you're elevating him, and he's somebody you need to start from now on. I'm not letting him out of my lineup. So
he's an auto start.
I agree. Yeah, mine's less sexy. Mine's Zach Moss, right? We talked about him earlier. If you're going to pick him up, you're going to play him, right? And he did get the opportunity. And that's what you want to see. Indianapolis, they don't have JT. Moss 18 attempts, 88 yards. He had a touchdown, 4 receptions, 20 yards. So, 20 points, 21 points. I'm not getting you that every week. I think he's more in the 14 to, like I said, 12 to 15 point range. But that's solid right there. If you started him, he was one of the top performers last week in DFS at 4,700. I heard Eric Lindquist arguing with I think it was Matt Kajeski on before Lock about maybe it was somebody else, but he's like, do you have any Zach Moss? And Matt was like, no, it wasn't Matt Kajeski, it was somebody else, but they were like, no, they didn't have any. And Eric Lindquist was like, I definitely have some at 4,700, and scored 21 points. So I think Zach Moss is somebody who, if you have him, you play him.
Okay.
What about you at wide receiver? I think I tilted my hand there with Tank Dell and Marvin Mims. Who are you elevating besides those guys? Or are those your guys? Did I steal your guys?
No. Who's worse than the Eagles at defending the pass is the Chargers. So I'm going Jordan Addison.
Oh, dude, he's been on my bench twice, and he's gone off both times. And so, yeah. I mean,
put him
now,
in. Put him in, coach. Put him in.
Yeah, he's got that long ball in him, coach. He's got the 62 yarder. I mean, it's just the one of the longest ones of the year so far. So yeah, I'm with you. I like that. That's a great call, Jordan Addison. Tight end. I mean, we picked him up. We talked about him last week. Hunter Henry. He's a lot.
That's my guy too. Hunter Henry versus the Jets. I think that
the Jets are terrible against tight ends. By the way,
that's who's gonna. I mean, you can see Mac Jones when he gets into trouble. That's where he starts to look too.
Yep.
Watching that game last night. So I just think he's he's kind of that premier guy from the bench that you want to bring up, and could be useful in DFS lineups as well.
Yeah, no, I agree. And what you're looking at for the Jets so far. They gave up a touchdown I think they have 2 touchdowns to Dallas tight ends in that game. And Dallas went they played the Bills, but together tight ends are 11 for 13 for 63 yards. So they have not stopped them. That's above an 80% percentage on pass plays. You like that. You like that. I like that. So, Hunter Henry. What about DSTs? Well, let's talk a little defense.
Pats, baby. Pats versus the Jets, dude. Give me the Pats. Like, I mean, honestly, watching that game last night, it just made me so impressed with how good the Dolphins are. I mean, their ability to get the ball out within 2 seconds was just incredible. I honestly, I really think the Dolphins are going to be a problem. I mean, for everybody, I could see they're a dark horse Super Bowl team for me right now. The way that they're looking. So the Pats D, not good. This is their kind of game right here. Like this is where and even in that game, blocked a field goal, almost took that to the house. Shoestring tackle away from taking that. Fumble, and just they're right there. So now you're playing Zach Wilson, who again I think looked a little bit better last week, but Cowboys D 16 points last week or something like that, depending on your scoring system. So
no, I like it. My defense this week to elevate is the Chiefs. They're going up against Justin Fields, I think is his name. I'm not sure. He's a young guy, young kid. But Justin Fields has been a turnover machine, by the way. He's got 6 turnovers, 3 fumbles, 3 interceptions. Not great. Right. And the Chiefs are pretty good against defense, or a pretty good defense against quarterbacks. They held Trevor Lawrence in check. He's not a huge scrambler, but he can run. He's very athletic. Chris Jones being back makes a big difference. So I think if you get the Chiefs too, they're a little more expensive in DFS. They're 400 more. I would pay down for the Patriots for sure. But if you don't have the Pats, someone's got them. Go Chiefs. Chiefs are around. So. What about mitigate? Because my mitigate, it rolls right into what we just talked about. Because my mitigate is Justin Fields against the Chiefs. So
wow, strong.
Yeah. And this is the issue. It's the turnovers, right? Like if you give Patrick Mahomes that many turnovers, like you're gonna get destroyed. And you know what? He's not throwing 90-yard bombs and scoring at will. he just picks you apart now. He's just like, yeah, I'm just gonna do a 7-minute drive, and then I'm gonna do another 9-minute drive, and then I'm gonna do a 11-minute drive, and then they score touchdowns on all those drives, and then you lose like 28-3. So that's my thought on how. Maybe you think Fields balls out, but I do not. I think that I'm also saying you should sit Moore, and I have Moore this week, so that's like a combo. Fields and DJ Moore, don't play them, neither one of them. Right. So
I don't disagree. We're gonna get back to somebody that I did disagree with, you said, in a second, but for my QB, I didn't go sexy. We've talked about picking him up. I think he's going to be a very viable rotational QB carousel quarterback, but Jordan Love versus the Saints, I just don't like the matchup.
Oh, yeah, that's not good. No.
Yeah, the Saints D is just really good. So I said Jordan Love versus the Saints, and I said Packers wide receivers too, because right now we're still just kind of seeing now you have Jaden Reed factoring in. Right. I don't want to play any of those people this week, in my lineups or in DFS, Jordan Love or Packers wide receivers.
Yeah, I'm pulling them up right now to see. Reed is 38, Wicks is 33. You don't know if they're going to get shut down, a long touchdown. Yeah, they're very volatile for sure. No one will be on them if you want to be a contrarian, but I'm with you. I don't really want to do that. No, thank you. No, thank you. Running back, who are you sitting down this week? Who are you saying no?
I am Cash is going against your elevate. I don't like Zach Moss this week versus the Ravens. I think if Anthony Richardson plays, maybe that's better for him. But right now, the Ravens are where are they in terms of rushing? They've given up no touchdowns, and only 138 yards on the ground.
Not bad.
So I don't like that matchup this week for Zach Moss. For me, that's going to be somebody that I'm going to be fading. I think he's going to be definitely a great add. And then we'll see what happens when Jonathan Taylor comes back. But I don't think this is a good week for him for me.
It is a tough week. If I think it is better if Richardson is back. I do. Just to give him more options. But Richardson needs to give him the ball. Right. Give him the ball. Don't hold the ball. Like it comes down. It's like sounds so silly, but it just comes down to that one thing. Just let go of the ball. Let go of the fucking ball, man. Come on. Just but also I have Richardson in some leagues, so also like hold on to that fucking ball, man. Don't give that fucking ball. So I like your fade of me. We'll see who kind of comes out on top. I have a question for you. Spot fade. DeAndre Hopkins next week against the Cleveland Browns. What are you doing with him? Because he's got under 11 points each week. I mean, he's not doing.
No, his first week he had like 12 targets or something like that.
Yeah, he did. He had a ton of targets, but he just. I mean, the Tannehill targets are like not as good as other targets. I don't know.
Yeah, but he had a bad ankle this past week too. So, would
you keep playing him though?
It does depend. But yeah, it just depends on your team,
Right. Okay, so he's averaging under 11 points per game. That's what it is. So he's got 13 the first game, but I mean, against the Chargers too, they're terrible. So
they're terrible. But again, he was dinged up. So
he might still be dinged. So
he could still be dinged. So he's definitely worthy. He's worthy of consideration for mitigate, depending on who you've got. Yeah. I don't see me getting to him a lot in DFS.
Okay. No, I respect that. Where are you at when it comes to tight ends? Who are you mitigating?
So, honestly, I don't want to do it. But you got to pick somebody. And I guess Zach Ertz would be somebody that I'm not going to play. You probably have two tight ends, or you should, if you have Zach Ertz as one of your tight ends and they're playing the Cowboys. he might be the guy for the Cardinals. I mean, it's just such a weird team. We're all still kind of getting our bearings, but for me,
Right.
this is a week where I just don't like the matchup. So it's the Cowboys. So I
Yeah.
don't want to, and they have McBride on that team too as well. So I just don't like the matchup here.
Yeah. No, I mean, I can respect it. I don't have to like it, but I can respect it. My guy is Gerald Everett, and it's not because he didn't do good last week. He did. I mean, he was
looked like a
balling
monster.
out. Every
Yeah.
time he got the ball, he looked like the guy who's like the
Jim Brown.
Yeah, he's ridiculous. But the problem is they gave him the ball 3 times,
I know.
So like you see him, he's a beast, he's running around, and then you're like, oh wait, he's gotten 6 targets so far this year. That's not great. And so he's somebody who I'm fading. And then if you actually do look at him at DFS, he's one of the top, kind of buy down in that range. You got Laporta, Pitts, Everett, Hurst, so you might be tempted, but just stay away. I'm a Everett fader this week for sure.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So, I got a sexy defense mitigate because no one's going to be on this one, but
okay.
I don't like the Dolphins versus the Broncos this week. Like I actually think that the Broncos are they're going to be doing everything in their power
to win.
And I could just see this game
onside kicks and fake fumbles.
Yeah, I could see this game. I could see this
Liberty plays.
I don't know. Have they released the overs yet? But I want to know what Vegas puts this over at, because now with Marvin Mims on that team and you have a healthy Jerry Jeudy, Javonte Williams another week under his belt, I could just see this game, being a bit of a shootout, honestly.
Yeah, I'm pulling it up right now to see where we at with the football for next week. This is this week, man. I'm not looking at that. It's not up here. I need to find it. Oh no. Okay, maybe NFL. Okay, here we go. It is 48. Yeah, that's
48.
some points.
That's what I think. 48. That's a high total.
Yes, sir. Yeah, it's a high total. It's one of the higher ones. Not LA Chargers, Minnesota 54 total, but it's creeping up there. It's a pretty big total. So
yeah. I don't like the Dolphins D this week. I think the Broncos have a pretty good group of wide receivers, and
I agree.
I think Russell Wilson is he's better than he was last year. So I don't like the matchup.
Yeah. I don't like the Colts this week. They're up against the Ravens, and I mean they did play Houston last week. They got a little bump. Playing rookie quarterback. Just don't play them anymore. Drop them. Get rid of them. Say goodbye. Bye.
Let's eviscerate some people. Who do you want to eviscerate?
Ooh, you go first.
I've got 4 guys: Cam Akers,
yes,
Allen Lazard, MVS, and who's one of Cash's late round dart throws. I'm ready to dump. And Juju Smith-Schuster. Those are my guys.
Yeah. I was talking some mad shit about Juju Smith-Schuster to my wife. She called him JJ Mushuster because London, when she was a little kid, couldn't say it, didn't know how. And so, drop him like a bad habit. Michael Thomas. What's he doing today? Are you gonna drop Michael Thomas? I'm kidding. I'm making a joke. But I mean, I didn't drop anybody recently. I don't think I can drop anybody.
Cam Akers. There's going to be people that are going to sit.
I'm dropping Cam Akers. I'm dropping him for sure.
Yeah, people are going to sit and hold him. They're shopping him around like nobody wants him. Like
nobody wants him. If he gets traded, then good for him.
Right?
Yeah. No, it's good. I like that. Cool beans, man. Cool beans.
All
right, DFS Stacks of Cash. Let's build some lineups now. This is what we've all been waiting for. This is what our pants are off for. So
who was your QB?
I've got 3 QBs for Stacks of Cash, but what did you mean? Who's my QB?
That you said an elevate.
Oh, CJ Stroud.
CJ Stroud. All right, let's choose between Baker or CJ Stroud because they're
Okay,
both going to be cheap.
CJ Stroud is 5,300. And Baker, where's Baker at? Maybe Baker's not. Is are the Bucks playing on the slate?
Maybe not.
I don't see Tampa on the slate. They're not on the slate. Sorry, my friend. So let's go CJ Stroud then. That sealed the deal.
Night. Yeah, let's go CJ Stroud.
Okay, so who we stacking him up with in this matchup?
Let's go Nico.
I agree. It's very sexy. It's only 5,300 too. He's the top 6 wide receiver in the NFL right now. So between them, that's only you're 10-6ing it, and we've got the Patriots D down here as well. So I like that. Do we want to run it back with a Jacksonville wide receiver, assuming that this game has got to go a little bit? And we've got Kirk at 54. We've got
Let's circle back. Okay. Because I've got another wide receiver that I'm going to play him every week. And, last week is a bit of a bummer. Zay Flowers.
Zay Flowers. That's what I meant. That's what I meant. Yeah, Zay Flowers. That's what I meant.
I'm playing Zay Flowers every week. What's his price tag? 5,400. Look at sexy.
Yeah. Zay. So far, 15 targets, 13 receptions. He scored 10 points, 12, basically 11 points, 18 points. I like it. Yeah.
And you said what last week? He almost caught 2 touchdowns. So that could have been.
No, that was Zay Jones. That wasn't Zay Flowers.
Oh, okay.
That was Zay Jones who almost caught 2 touchdowns. But this week he could.
Well, he played the Colts this week, so it's a juicy matchup.
Oh my goodness, Calvin Ridley lit them up. Remember that? That was the matchup. Calvin Ridley went for 30 on the first week. So things that make you say, "Hey, yeah."
Right.
So 100%. Yep. Have you looked at any of the tight ends, good sir? We've got
what is Hunter Henry's price? What's Hunter Henry?
4,100 every day, all day. 4,100. Yeah.
Let's do it.
Good. Okay. All right. So now we need some. We've got 6,600 on average left, which is pretty nice, honestly.
That's sexy.
Do you want to do Bijan against the Detroit Lions?
Yes, I do. I want to do Bijan.
Yeah. Okay. Good. Me too. We could do a pay down running back. What about Mostert against Denver?
Yeah. Well, all right. Let's look at Denver versus the run.
Well, they just gave up Brian Robinson's 2 touchdowns. They just gave up the long screen pass to Antonio Gibson. So that they're not great against the run.
They're mid. They're definitely mid. Yeah, they're mid.
Could go Kenneth Walker if you wanted to.
Who do they? I think he has a good matchup too. Who are the Panthers?
Yeah. Panthers currently rank 30.
They're a little bit better. They're a little bit better.
Yeah, we could go down lower if you wanted to. Gus Edwards, if you wanted to get 5,300.
I would be slightly interested in Gus Edwards.
We could circle back.
Let's circle back. Let's
some wide receivers.
Yeah.
Okay. So we don't have enough money to buy.
How much is Puka? Where's that? Are they playing? Oh, they're Monday night. Okay.
No. I don't think we have enough money to buy up into Tyreek or Jefferson, but I mean, Keenan Allen is still ridiculously underpriced at 70.
Oh, and he's playing Minnesota. Yeah. Okay.
Now, we've got 1,100 left, so
that's
we've got
a lot.
Flex. Yeah, we could go high. We could go, running back. We could pay up, for somebody if we wanted to. I know. There's not a lot of great options this week, honestly. If you want to be, be just honest.
I don't mind Kenneth Walker. I don't mind that. Let's do that.
Okay. Now we're at 48 for our flex. So let's roll down to our flex and see who's in some juicy situational matchups here. Okay. We got Elijah Moore from Cleveland against Tennessee.
That might be the guy.
We're still scrolling.
Yeah, maybe Kadarius Toney for upside.
Good look at Kadarius the Tonester. He did have 5 targets for 35 yards. Not
He
terrible.
wasn't high on crack this last game.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
Hey, good for him. Good for him. I'm glad. You got Dotson. Actually, that's a different
Not your
Dotson.
Dotson.
Who the hell is that? That's a
Dotson.
trick. What the hell? What the hell is that? Bewitchery. Oh my gosh. Yeah. You got Robert Woods hanging around down here as well. 4,400.
We have CJ Stroud, so that's an interesting hold.
That's double. That's a double stack. That's too much for me.
I think Kadarius Toney he's an upside play. So if you want to roll the dice, I mean, he's not injured.
Yeah. I think that might be the play here. I'm looking. It would be between him and Elijah Moore for me, but I'll go Toney because you know what he does.
Wide receiver 1 on the team.
Yeah. Okay, there we go. So we leave 200 on the table, which is totally fine. We've got CJ Stroud, Bijan Robinson, Kenneth Walker, Nico Collins, Zay Flowers, Keenan Allen, Hunter Henry, Kadarius Toney, Patriots D. $10. Hopefully we win. If we win, we split the money. This is in the Smizzle, Al Smizzle contest. Update my entry, please. Yes. I don't understand why it's not, but yeah. All right, let's get to 3 tweets because you gotta get out of here in a couple minutes, and we got some funny tweets. So, do you want to go first? Or do you want me to go first?
You can go first if you want.
All right, man. I know you're gonna love this. This is your boy.
Yeah, what the
So, buckle up because he says some things that are not PG-13. They're XXX. XXX rated. They're for the show. They're great. So just remember the Ravens played the Bengals and their inner rivalry. It's an intense rivalry, division rivalry. So let's just hear what old Stavi has to say.
Yeah, what the fuck is up? It's fucking Ronnie, and I'm fine, baby. Oh, all I was hearing all week, all season, matter of fact, was damn, Joe Burrow's good. Damn, the Bengals and Joe Burrow are the best fucking team in the division. No, they fucking ain't. Everybody was sucking on Joe Burrow's delicious penis all offseason. What happens week 2? The fucking Ravens go right in his house and we make him suck our fucking dick, Joe, it's a fucking shame you couldn't use those beautiful arrested steel blue eyes to locate a receiver in the end zone in the first half. Maybe your bitch ass wouldn't have lost if you did that. You ain't the best Joe that ever played in the fucking NFL.
Guess who it is?
Flacco. Montana was a systems quarterback. You put Flacco on them Niners teams, he wins about 10, 15 Super Bowls easy, yo. Woo! The Ravens are going to the fucking Super Bowl. We're 2-0. The Bengals are 0-2. Oh, and the future's looking bright for the Ravens. Yeah, we're just getting started. Okay, Zay Flowers, that motherfucker's awesome.
Yes, he
I
is.
call Zay one of the good ones. I love Zay Flowers so much, I might buy my baby mama some fucking bouquets. I might get her a fucking note that says, yo, my bad. Sorry I gave you so much gonorrhea that many times when we was together, but that ain't no excuse to keep my fucking kid from me, Tabitha, you fucking bitch. Anyway, y'all, I'm about to leave. I'm in Ocean City. Still got a couple little legal trouble to iron out. Apparently, you are not allowed when you are when you got the little black cape over you. You are not allowed to pull your penis out underneath the cape and play with it, even though the bitch giving you a haircut is old and ugly, and she should consider it a compliment. So, gotta clear that up. But go Ravens.
That guy's one of the funniest guys, dude. I love him so much. So yeah, I had to put that up there. So that was honestly for you. I was thinking of you. I thought about you when I looked for my funny tweet today. So
that's awesome.
Oh, yeah. All right. Let's jump back. Which one am I doing for you?
Go to the Justin Jefferson one. Yeah.
Okay. Oh, this is.
Yeah, I pulled this one off of Instagram. This is Justin Jefferson on his first impressions of Kirk Cousins as a rookie. First time I ever met Kirk, he picked me up in a minivan to do a film study at his house. 30 minutes into the film sesh, his wife walked in his man cave with a platter of crackers and cheese. Kirk smiled at her, and she smiled back. They stared at each other lightly, smiling without saying anything for 11 minutes. Then finally she said, well, I'll leave you boys to watch your stories. Shortly after Kirk, said, "I'm sorry you had to see that, Justin. That was our first fight." And Kirk and I never talked about it again. Sometimes I lay awake at night thinking about that. Like, do I need to call someone? What would I say? Is Julie okay? What's the sex like if that's how Kirk and Julie throw down?
Dude, that's so funny. That's really
Yeah.
funny. I
Yeah.
like that. I'm gonna retweet that one.
Yeah,
I was, but then
that
it
one
closed.
that one tickled my bones.
That was funny. Yeah, I like it. I think they're both really funny. I'm gonna give this one to you though because I really like where they start staring at each other for 11 minutes. That's so funny and specific. So
Sorry you had to see that, Justin. That was
sorry
our
you had
first fight.
that's so funny. All right, is this yours?
Yeah, you're gonna like it. This is Bill Belichick. This is your wife saying, "Don't forget, we have dinner at lunch at my parents' house on Sunday." And the Belichick reaction.
Or he's hearing it from upstairs. Could you see? Or he's hearing it from upstairs.
That is definitely how we all feel if our wife springs that on us on a Sunday.
Look at that, just throwing the flag.
Yep.
Yeah. Hold on. I'm gonna screen grab that because that's just. Are they letting me? There. Yeah. Okay. Good. Because that's just so perfect. You know.
Mm-hmm.
He's just looking down at him, saying "fuck you." You know.
Mm.
So, dude, that's hilarious. Well, I love it. This has been another rousing success of the Fantasy Millionaires. It's episode 87, my friend. You know,
Nice.
we've been doing our thing for quite a long time now, and hopefully we're helping you win. I'm 2-0 in several of my big money leagues. I'm also 1-1 in our league, the BFS, and I'm 0-2 in Bo's league where I was the champ. It's getting destroyed. AJ Brown did nothing last week. It's not great. So yeah, we all have wins and losses. Not gonna lie.
Yep.
But
It's a roller coaster, baby.
it is, sir. And we'll be here all season long. If you win, please shout us out. No matter who you are, we love hearing from you, Brad, Mark, Bo, all the friends out there. We'll see you guys on those mean streets. I think you have a word to people, Mike, as we leave.
War, destruction, chaos, and death to all your opponents in week 3. Peace and love everywhere else.
Everywhere else.